Okay, welcome back everybody to Coffee and Art in the Morning, Wednesday. It's hump day. It's hump day. So we already did in part one today for about, I don't know, close to 2 hours, 45 minutes. We worked in the abandoned places, abandoned deserted theme park, and it's Steph Lawless, and we did this page here. So we finished, well, it was a little rush, but I still want to do this. I want to make DNA strands hanging down here. So we didn't get time to do that. But anyway, so we did this. And now I'm going to go ahead and continue working in Mythomorphia. Last Saturday, I did an impromptu stream and worked on the Seahorse. So we got the Seahorse done. That's a little close. Let's back that up. We got the Seahorse done, and I want to work in the... I'm trying, guys. Let me try to get the focus here. I want to work on the lionfish. So I did, the only thing that I did off camera was I did, and I told y'all that I would do that on Saturday, was finish all these little koi fish, and I still need to put the yellow on them. So like every place that, I'm not sure if I zoom in anymore, it's probably, I want to be really close, but then it also pixelates more. It's a little less clear. When I do that, but I want to do yellow on top of all the white Posca that I did. See, they're so tiny to see those little fish. So again, I'm not going to sit here and do all of that, but I will go over every one of these little koi where I went over it with the white Posca to brighten them up. I'll go over it with the yellow. So let me just do a couple here so maybe you can kind of see that they'll be a little brighter. I mean, they'll be yellow, they won't be white. So let's see if you can tell the difference. So see the ones I've gone over with yellow compared to the ones that just have white? Hey, Lady Jan. There's Lady True North Jan that we talked about earlier with the happy mail and the beautiful cards. Thanks so much, Jan. That was awesome. Okay, so there we go. And I did tell everybody the name of your 2 Instagrams. So, and if you're watching this segment, it's Lady... let me see. I don't have them memorized because in my favorite, she's just Jan. Lady True North Instagram and Lady North Crafts on Instagram. So, yeah, she's the one that did all those tags we talked about last week. Okay, so anyway, I will go over every one of those little koi fish with yellow, so that they'll have yellow on them instead of white, but that's what I did to brighten it up. Okay, so everything else here is done except the bottom, and I'm going to do all the bottom together. We'll see how much time we have, because this is going to be the last segment on this. This will be the third part. I'm trying not to do too many parts, but sometimes they take a while. Okay, so I'm going to move the computer so I can move the color book over here. And I'll just have to shuffle it up and down. All right, so I'm going to get some yellow. I'm using Prismacolors. Let's see what colors I want. I need a sienna and a brown and let's see, which one of those do I want? I kind of like this one. And I'll need probably a dark brown or darker, there's sepia, and an orange. Okay, so these colors should be enough. And I'll sharpen them and I'll tell you what they are. So I got yellow ochre, Spanish orange, pale vermilion, terracotta, oh, sienna brown, and sepia. So those are the colors that I got to do the lion. I might pull in some black, and of course we got white bubbles and all that. But where's my, here, let's sharpen. Let me sharpen these real quick. If y'all have any questions, put them in caps. This is our second segment today. We did the Altered Theme Park play a little bit. Okay, sepia is not wanting to sharpen. Why are you wanting to try the other side here? And I sometimes have my not good Prismas mixed in with my newer Prismas because, you know, there was that one batch that was bad. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I think I'll start with the sienna for some shading. And then if I need darker shading, I'll go with the dark brown. And then it's gonna be all yellow, oranges, and browns. Like a lion, but also a lionfish. Because there are a couple lionfish here. I think there's 3 lionfish. That'll be the same colors. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing that I did over here on the Seahorse. And I'm going to go and I'm going to pick out. Am I close enough, guys? Maybe I'm close enough for now. I'm going to go ahead and pick out all the places that are, they've already got color. The artist has already done some shading for you. So you can just kind of go in there and find all the shading. Plus, I'm going to do the tips like I did over here. The tips dark green. There, you can see them there. I'm going to do the same thing here on the tips of the hair, of the lion mane, and whatever else, they made him to look like a fish. And I'm going to do all the tips a dark brown to make him kind of stand out a little. Am I close enough, guys? And does it look okay there? So here's like a little bit of a fin action on him right in here. So I'm going to do that because it'll make them stand out. Those edges. And then just going in there and shading all the darkest areas. Y'all let me know if this is close enough. So it takes a while to do this. Maybe I should get out the chat pack and ask y'all some chat pack questions. Keep conversation going. Because, it takes a while. Not joking, not kidding. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go ahead and put some dark color on the tips of the little tiny lionfish here. They're striped, kind of. So I'm not going to do them right now. I just want to kind of get them so I can find them easily. And I'm not sure if the lionfish have black in them. Let me look them up. Because if they have black stripes in them, I might add a little bit of stripage to him. I'm trying to remember what they look like. Let me look one up here. Lionfish. Thanks everybody for being here, by the way. All right, let's see. No, they're pretty much just kind of a sienna, orangey kind of stripe. I don't really see black in them, except for their eye. So, yeah. Yeah, their little fins are kind of stripe on their pointy spines. So So I'll just get that in there real quick. And there's one down here, so. Sharpen. Anybody got any questions? Does anybody want to do chat pack? Or you just chilling? Chilling like a villain? And then all the angelfish are going to be black and white. I'll shadow them a little bit with blue just to give them a shape. But I've got a little bright in here. Let me close the blinds again. So the sun's wanting to come out after all that rain. What do you call a camel with no hump? What do you call it? Tell me, Kat. Okay, this pencil keeps wanting to break, this sienna. What do you call a camel with no hump? What? Let me get another sienna. This one's not going to cooperate. There we go. Thirsty? May said thirsty. Humphrey. Oh, brother. Oh my gosh, good one. Humphrey. Well, it's hump day. We got Phil here. Oh my gosh. I'll get out the chat pack. And speaking of, I got one of the, the box thing. I think it was from Kenny. Has anybody seen Kenny lately? I tried to find her. I couldn't even find her on Twitter. Has anybody seen Kenny lately? Grown, yeah. All right, let's go back up to the lion now and to all the shadow parts here. So even if I don't finish it 100%, like every little, coral or something, you'll still see the bulk of how we did everything. That's, to me, more important is for you to get the idea how to do it than to see me finish it. Because I post the pictures. I post them on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And there's a new, it's kind of like a new Instagram. Has anybody else tried it? Called Vero, V-E-R-O. It kind of looks like Instagram when you go to it, and it's kind of jiggity right now because it's new. So sometimes it's down, and it took me like a day to get logged on the first time because it's new, and I guess it's overwhelmed. Everybody all of a sudden is wanting to try it out. So it takes a little minute to get on, to get logged in. But it's like, but it looks like Instagram. It's kind of that format. You post your pictures, you scroll up, it's. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of artists are jumping on that bandwagon. And I'm trying to figure, I'll find somebody and I'll go in and search for them. But the servers are, I guess, just overwhelmed. So I've only found about 10 people so far. So it's new though, so. Okay, Julie, yeah. Yeah, it's an app. It is an app. And no Kenny from anybody? Yeah, I don't know. I hope she's okay. I mean, I can send her a card, but that doesn't really answer the question as to I'd sent Janice, B. Lilith Janice, because she was in the hospital. I sent her a card. And I think Mink. Mink, are you the one that's kind of knowing what's going on with her? And then Galena, I don't know if Galena got, I sent her 2 happy mails. Oh, she was here earlier. So I don't know. I don't hear back from people. What's the dealio? My throat's dry now from the chips. Had chips and grilled cheese in between the streams here. And tonight's Survivor, next season of Survivor. So me, Janet, and I'm sure some of y'all will be tweeting it. We live tweet it. Yeah, I know, May. I don't really have time for it either. I'm just hoping it's just like easy like Instagram. My thing about Instagram, and probably this as well, it's not really a chat format. It's not, I mean, you can message people and leave comments and stuff, but it's not like Facebook where you talk, and or Twitter where you're carrying on conversations and stuff. It's like Instagram. You post your pictures. It's really not a chatty place, if you know what I mean. And that's all I'll be using it for. It's just another place to post my art. So we'll see how it goes. I'm at least signed up for it. We'll see, if many people do it or not. So, yeah. So he's got these tail fish fins coming off of his face there. Yeah, that's like Pinterest. I love Pinterest. That's one place I just do not have time. Pinterest is the biggest time suck of all. And I don't know, Julie Topaz is like the Pinterest queen. If y'all want to find your way around Pinterest and find lots of stuff, Julie Topaz. Oh. I get over there once a month. Okay. Yep, it is. It is, but it's got a lot of good stuff. But it is like a black hole. You get over there and you're searching and you find every and anything you like. I'm telling you, you will find it on Pinterest. But I usually just use it for kind of like I do Google Images, when I'm going to look for something. I don't really talk or do anything, use it for social media. I just pretty much, I post my art on Instagram and I talk on, catch up, stay in touch with everybody on Twitter, and any real talking I want to do, I do on Facebook. Because I talk all day here. I do enough talking here, right? Okay, so see how that's looking? Kind of like, see how we did the dark green here? And again, I will go back over some of this and smooth out, add more. See how I did the white foamy stuff here? I'm going to do that over the top of him and, some other places. But I'll just do that all at once. See, like where the line, it comes across the line there. I'll go in there with the paintbrush or my finger and do that. Got a little Buddha right there. I'm sure that's one of the little hidden things that Kerby hides in his pages. There's always little hidden things. So anyway, yeah. So I just thought I'd test to try it out, see. The Vero. Yeah, I got coffee here. I did bring coffee up with me. So you can see it's not too difficult to do a complex thing. I'm just going with all the little line art there. I'm just using that to go by for the initial shading. All right, let me get my, let's get, which one do I want? Let's go with this one here. Grab them and climb over the computer here, if I can reach it. Okay. Tabletop topics. This one, table, and it comes in this little box here like this. See, little box. This is what Kenny sent. So we'll just pull out of the middle here. We'll pull a few out. They're just conversation starters is all they are. Little conversation starters and stuff to talk about while we're sitting here so you don't snooze. I'm sure Jean's already asleep. She just got back from the doctor, so she's probably got her feet up and napping. But Jean and I kid each other because I fall asleep at night to her streams. All right, so let's see. Okay, which celebrity do people say you resemble? I'll just leave it sitting there so I can. Which celebrity do people say you resemble? That's a fun question. Now, whether anybody will answer, that's another story. Oh, Jean, you're not, but you're close to. Have to switch to your bed soon, though. Okay, yes. Go, Jean. Go nap. Go get your iPad or go lay down. Seriously. Okay, so Eileen says Liz Taylor, I wish. Eileen. Oh my gosh. You never had anybody say somebody you look like your whole life, Eileen? Nobody, I mean, in your whole life, you've never had someone say you look like a celebrity. I mean, I've had people say I look like Suzanne Plachette, but that was, I'm talking 30 years ago. So it's not like it happened yesterday. Nobody said yesterday I did. But you know what I mean? So at any time in your life, let's make sure that we clarify that. At any time in your life. It doesn't have to be like now. Eileen. No? Suzanne said the older Liz Taylor, not the... Well, I mean, maybe when she was younger, she did look like Liz Taylor. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. At any time in your life. You girls crack me up. Hard Chick said Annette Funicello. Yeah, Jean said I do look a bit like her. Well, I look more like her, like I said, 30 years ago, Jean. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I think you did say that, Jean. You did mention that to me before when I had a photo. Yeah, that was, a long time ago. Sue says that you were named after Suzanne Plachette, Suze? Oh, my gosh. Eileen said, maybe I look like the Gerber baby when I was born. Eileen, you're such a hoot. Oh my gosh. I hope Janet's watching from afar and laughing. I can see her sitting in a doctor's office laughing at you, Eileen. Cheshire Cat said Patty Duke. Chatty Natty said her niece said she looked like Terry Garr when she was young, when you were younger. That's awesome, Suze. So see how I'm just going and getting all the dark parts. Now let me get it nice and sharp because I want to do these little scales. Oh, this one's wanting to break too. What's with the sienna? Let's try the other side here. All right, I'm going to go back up here on his arm and this fin. Don't ask Janet what I look like. Well, because she'll tease you. She'll say something smart aleck. And I know people think, man, Janet and Eileen, what's with those two? They love teasing each other. They are hilarious together. uh, a little bit of curl right there, right there, right there. CB said Betty Davis. And whatever happened to Baby Jane? CB. CB, now I've seen you. I've seen your picture, and yeah. You look awesome. I don't know. I don't really know who you look like as far as a celebrity. So you can see I'm just kind of flicking in some color here and then just putting little scale things. And we're gonna blend all this in like we did the Seahorse with another, like probably orange. I just got to get all the dark done first before you go over it with another color. But look, that's not hard, is it? So far? Eileen said, people think we don't like I know, right. They think you don't like each other. But then they're not in the chat. Most people aren't in the chat seeing how we see you guys interacting, So, yeah. I could see that if I was just watching a video of you two. It's like, man, those two go after each other. But they're totally teasing. They both can take it. So Jennifer at work said Cagney and Lacey. Well, which one? Cagney or Lacey, Jennifer? Oh, there. Oh, gotcha. Oh, okay. I thought you said you look like one of them. Yeah, Jennifer at work said they are our Laverne and Shirley, or Cagney and Lacey. uh, let's get his little claws there. Okay, I'm just not getting a nice point on this pencil without it breaking. I don't know why. There we go. I hope you can see. I mean, I can zoom in some, but I think you're getting the big picture. Janet must have been from the same mold. Yeah, they're twin. Yeah, I know, right? They are. They're hilarious. They're fun. They're fun to, have around. There are Bob Hope and what was his sidekick? Bob Hope. Bing Crosby? That's who they are. Of course, young people are going, who? Bob Hope? Who's that? Put a little shadow under the angelfish here. right, now I got to kind of do a few little fins here. I mean, not fins, scales. I do some scales here because I'm going to color over the whole thing with orange, like I did over on the Seahorse with the green, the olive green. Because we started with the dark green, and then did a see the olive green, see the olive green over the top. We're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to do orange on top of the sienna. But I got to get all these little dark areas in here first. It's not a lot of layers on these. Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. I know, right? So everybody knows funny comedic pairs. Okay, so since nobody else is saying anything else about who they resemble, let's go on to the next question. Okay, we did that one last time. Okay. All right, who's the funniest person alive that you know of? And that doesn't have to, it doesn't have to be someone you know personally. Who do you think is the funniest person? And it says alive. The person I was thinking of is not alive anymore. But, so I got to think of somebody that's alive. I don't keep up with a lot of the newer comedians. I have to think for a minute. Yeah, Chatty Night, that's good. Mary and Rhoda, yeah. Okay, so all right, so May said, and May is in Norway. She said Jeff Dunham. I don't think I know Jeff Dunham. Chatty Natty said Larry David. Kimmy Poo said her son Tyler. My daughter Denise, she'd be right up there. She is hilarious. Denise is funny. APG Jamie. APG Jamie is a hoot. But I'm thinking like if famous comedians, I'd have to think. George Carlin, he was hilarious. I'm telling you, he had a potty mouth, but George Carlin was hilarious. If you haven't seen George Carlin, you're watching, you don't know who it is, and you don't mind a little potty mouth, because he had a potty mouth. But I tell you, he would tell it like it was. I'm not sure when he passed away. It's been a while. But George Carlin was hilarious as a comedian. Eileen, yeah, you thought George Carlin was hilarious too? I know. Sue said most of the new comedians are nasty. See, I don't watch them. I mean, I know they have shows on like, late night comedies. I don't watch any of that. So, I'm not awake. Yeah, I know. That's what I said, Suze. That if we could just say any comedian, I would say George Carlin, but I'm not sure when he passed away. I'm not sure how long ago. I'm thinking it was in the 80s maybe. Was it in the 90s? Do you remember, Eileen? I mean, I can go Google it, but, Red Skelton. So I'm just going in here and putting little scales. Gotta sharpen again. (2008) Okay, for some reason I was thinking it was way farther back, Eileen. I was thinking it was like at least in the 90s. I did not know that it was that recent. Anybody else got any comedians they want to mention? Who they think is funny? I don't know Jeff Dunham. That doesn't even sound familiar. He's an American ventriloquist. He's not the one that won the star thing, is he? I don't know then. America's Got Talent, I mean. America's Got Talent. A couple years ago, a ventriloquist won. I don't think that's who y'all are talking about, though, is it? Jeff Foxworthy. Oh my gosh, yes. Jeff Foxworthy's hilarious too, Suze. Hubster met him in the airport one time. There was a delay, and they were both flying back to Atlanta. I forget from where, Denver or somewhere. And so they were both delayed, and Hubster, and it was like 10-hour delay. And Hubster said that he watched Jeff Foxworthy for 10 hours take everybody's request for a picture, everybody's request for an autograph. He was just as nice, kind, patient. I said, well, did you get his autograph? He goes, no, he had enough people bothering him. So, okay. So anyway, but he said that he was just as nice and friendly and patient as could be in the airport waiting for the next flight out. The cast of Carol Burnett. Oh my gosh. Yes, Jean. The cast of Carol Burnett. They do have that on. It's either Get TV or Cozy TV or one of those channels. And Jean, you probably get it on something on your Apple TV or something. But anyway, the Carol Burnett show is reruns on one of those channels, one of those old timey channels. But yeah, they were hilarious. Aw, Care Bear said Eileen always makes me laugh. Has a skeleton. I don't think I've seen Jeff Dunham then, Jean. I'll have to go look him up later. Has a skeleton. No, don't know. Oh, Jeff Foxworthy was your neighbor? Suze went to school, and his siblings went to school with me. His brother is married to your stepmother's niece. Oh, well, pass it on, Suze. He's awesome in person. Yeah, Johnny Carson. He was funny. Well, he kind of was a stand-up. I don't know. He had his monologue, so he was standing Crocker. Oh, Suze. Yeah, Eileen said Don Rickles. So yeah, okay. So here we're getting close down. We just got this one fin that we're going to change color. So we're trucking along here. All right, let's get another question. Let me get these points here. Okay, another question. Let's see. I think we've done stuff like what's on your bucket list. We'll skip that one. Which fabulously impractical car would you like to own? What car would you like to own? I already know what kind I'd like because it's one of the ones that I loved when I was younger. But I'm going to let y'all answer first. Oh, and back on the comedians, JMT said Jerry Clower. Limo said Jay Leno. Oh, Jean said Victor Borge. Yeah. Eileen said, oh, now we're on the car. A Lamborghini. Eileen says a Lamborghini. May, that's good. The Batmobile. There you go. Yeah, why not? The Batmobile. Nina said a Ferrari. Sue said a 4-door Jaguar. I didn't know they made a 4-door Jaguar. No, that kind of like, isn't that like a contradiction right there? I mean, I'm not saying there's not one. Or you just that's what you would have, Suze, if you could make one. Jean said, as long as it came with Jean said any car that came with a really cute blonde chauffeur. A blonde chauffeur. Good one, Jean. Let's see. Jim, Jim, J E Jenm, Jim, an old VW Beetle. It's impractical because you live in the north. Yeah, well, it does. We're not. Never mind where you live. What kind would you know? Um, Cheshire Cat said a Jag. Eileen said it has two doors and a trunk, and you can get in with the top down. So that's the four doors, Eileen. A DeLorean. Your nephew has a DeLorean. Do they still run? I mean, I know they had a lot of problems with them. I don't know, but I mean, I'm sure if he's had one this long, he's probably kept it nice. Oh my gosh. That's funny, Eileen. I would have, and they don't make them anymore. I think they still make MGs, but I'd want an MGB. Back when they used to have MGB. If y'all know, think back a way, back a ways. I always loved driving a stick, but I loved MGBs. So. Okay, I can't go to that right now. Susan's putting a link to a Jaguar model something, but I can't go to it. Your tennis coach drove an MGB. Okay, so I think we got all. Well, I mean, I can probably have to go back in and do some tweaking, but got at least a base coat of all the dark everywhere. Now that's a lionfish. I'm not going to color that or this in completely yet because I don't know exactly how orange this is going to be before. I want them to stand out maybe a little more yellow. So you have an MGB CV? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Two-seater. Yep. I did that. I think let's see, did the MGB have, I think they had a little bit of a space in the back. I don't know if you'd call it a seat. I don't remember the back seat that much. So, yeah. CB, did it have any kind of a back seat or was it just a little space? Like where the top went down and might have been a little cubby back there. I don't know that there was a seat. I don't remember. It's been a long time. I'm talking a long, long time ago. Yeah, yeah. Before CB said before children in car seats. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to take the orange, just like I did over here. And you see the dark green with the olive over it, and so I just kind of colored the olive right over the top. Okay, see right there. So that's what I'm going to do over here on the top of the sienna. If I can't rent it, I can't buy it. I think I'll start here with this face. So I'm just going to kind of go, almost kind of just going over all the sienna. And then maybe carried it just a little past the sienna. And it's not practical, let's face it. Okay, so can you see where I'm adding the orange here? Maybe I could zoom in one more. It's gonna get less and less. Let's see if I can adjust the color again because I look like I have a nice tan there. Let's try to brighten it up there and then darken it there. So that's more true color, even though I'm not the right color, but that's pretty much the right color. Yeah, room enough to stash a six-pack. CB. Oh my goodness. Is it too dark, guys? I can't really tell. Maybe if I can open the blinds back up again. There we go. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Yeah. Well, this says 3, but we'll go with 2. What 2 words would your family use to describe you? The question was 3 words, but I won't be able to keep up with that in the chat. Let's just say 2. What 2 words would your family use to describe you? I'll let Satan spawn. Nina. Oh my gosh, Nina. That's funny right there, girl. I know you're kidding. I hope. I hope you're kidding me. CB said totally crazy. Jean said too loud. Big Deb. That's what your family would describe you? Maybe I should have said more on the personality instead of the looks. Kat said animal freak. Oh, you love your animals, Kat. Card chick said insane and crazy. And they still call you that? Eileen said the perfect one. Oh my gosh, where's Janet? Where's Janet when we need her? Janet, if you're watching from afar. Eileen said she's the perfect one. May said too much. Limo said cat lady. Jan said cat lady. Nina said get the holy water. What did Jean say? I miss what Jean said. More like liar, liar. Jean. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. So see how I'm just kind of going right over the dark brown and just kind of making it a little more farther out. See, I'm not going with every line. Not that there's anything wrong with you want to go with every little line, and that's line, L-I-N-E, not lion. What else? Julie Topaz said the black sheep of the family. I know Eileen's a hoot, isn't she, Card? She's a card. Hubster's always called me the whirling dervish. Or like the Energizer bunny, that kind of thing. But the whirling dervish, they whirl. They're always like going different directions. So, can you see how we're just kind of blending down on the arm there, right over the top of the dark brown? Yeah, that's what Hubster would call me. See, where I'm going over this right here, I'm kind of losing some of the very, very dark. I'll probably have to go back over some of that to get some of that very, very dark back again. I mean, you can still see it, but not as predominant as it was. Jean. Nobody else wants to answer? Come on. Buck, 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 buck. Little chickens out there. Come on, little chickens. You can do it, little chickens. The Energizer Bunny is your husband. Guess it's going to have to go on to another question since we got a room full of clucks. And I didn't mean hens, I meant chickens. Big honking chickens. I'm not sure if Whirling Dervish was a song or not. Look them up. You'll see. You'll see if you don't know what a Whirling Dervish is. Look them up. Okay, next question then. Let me get it up on a little stack here out of the box. Hey, Orla, welcome back. Oh, what was the question? I forgot. Oh, what 2 words would your family describe you? How would your family describe you, Orla, in 2 words? Yeah, and Chatty Natty, that's what it was. What 2 words would your family use to describe you? For those that had Frozen Channel or you just got back. Well, Susan, you know, we don't want to know then. If that's the case. Say with your friends then, Suze. What would your friends say? Okay, so I'm going over all these scales, just in one, you know, a little bit of shading right over the top of all those scales. It's the same way we did the Seahorse, except we did the Seahorse in greens. See? Hey, Dot. Dot, what 2 words would your family use to describe you? That was the question of the question in our chat pack box. She's batty. Maybe clever and talented, Chatty Natty. Oh, well, if that's what your family says, then there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. Hey, you could be a whirling dervish. Pummel fluff? Oh, a Pokemon character. Why do they call you that? Do you look like one, Sandra? Suzanne said, my friends just say I'm nuts, but they love me. Zilly said creative and dauntless. That's good. That's good qualities. So you see we're making a little progress here on the lion. And it's not a lot of work. I mean, it took time. It took time to do all the, the darkest, and then we'll probably have to go back and add more dark. But, these pages are quite detailed, as you can see. It's not like you get through them in 5 minutes, right? Like that big warrior princess. We did her in marker, and there was not a lot of detail to her, or we didn't add a lot of detail. We kept it kind of simple and got her done in about 3 hours. But this has got a lot more detail to it, and, you want to utilize that. May said warm-hearted but strict. Dot said they think I'm mad as I like to carved instead of sitting about. I'm not. Oh, craft. Okay, that was just a typo. Because you like to craft instead of sitting around watching TV, and they think you're crazy. Well, really, they're just saying that as an excuse because they sit around and watch TV, right, Dot? Because that's what they're doing. I don't know. I don't know how people don't have some form of a hobby. Something that they love to do. Even if they do it for a living, more power to them. But if they don't do it for a living, that they don't have something that they love. I mean, even if it's just reading, and I don't mean just in the sense of just reading, because reading's awesome. But they should have at least, something like reading, right? Okay, so there we go. We got the initial coat on the lion. All right, so now what I'm going to do is take a nice bright yellow. That's not bright yellow. There we go. A nice bright yellow and add that. And then I'm going to have to go back and do more dark. Kind of like I had to do on the seahorse. There's only 3 colors on the seahorse. Dark green, olive, I think, but it wasn't called olive. It was something else. I think it was artichoke, but it was like an olive green, and lime green. There's only 3 colors. And so that's the same thing we're going to do here. Now I'm going to go over him with yellow to brighten him up, but then I'm going to go back in there with the dark brown or the cyan. I might go with dark brown. Maybe we need that 4th color on the lion. I have trouble blending different colors like orange or blue. The best way to do it, and I know that, let me think, someone here will know. There's a girl that made a color chart, not a color chart, a blending chart, and knows who she is because I saw it on Anne's. A Colorful Life, Anne. Now, right now, I'm just going to go over everything. I'm going to go over the whole lion. Everything about it. I'm just going to go over the whole lion. And she made a chart, but you don't have to have it to do what I'm getting ready to tell you. Where you blend, I think she has 3 colors. Is it 3 colors on the line? All you need is just take 3 colors. Let me get it here. Let me just get it. And the thing about her chart is she gives you the colors to try. Right? She gives you the colors to blend, but then you learn how to just blend those 3 colors. Take any 3 colors that you want. So let's take some odd things. Let's take let me get maybe a darker, like here's indigo. See, I put tape around my indigo because it looks like black. Let me see. Let me catch up with chat here. Yeah, crafting is your therapy. Yeah, I hear that. Sue says she knows too many people that don't have a hobby or interest. Yeah. I mean, at least read. At least read if you're, or audio book, like in Jean's case, she audio books. Um, Color with Claire. Thanks, May. Yeah, Color with Claire has a chart on her webpage. But what she essentially has, and I don't remember any of the colors that she has, that she's using, but there's little charts, uh, little rectangles like this, right? And she gives you 3 colors, red, yellow, blue, whatever. She gives you the number. I think she has Prismacolor. She might have a couple different pencils. And she gives you 3 colors to practice. So let's take a blue, let's take, I don't know, maybe a lime green, and I don't know, yellow maybe? Oh, well, let's just, because they're right here. Okay, and then she tells you to blend them. So you would start like really dark. You could start really dark, and then you just feather out. And this is good practice whether you're blending or just learning how to soften. So like this. And how I would do it, this is how I would do it, as I start at the other end. Like that. But you could do it either way. And then the green is in the middle. And then you just take the 2 and, well, the lime green I guess wasn't a very good choice because it's kind of it's almost yellow. Maybe you could see it better over here on the blue. And you just blend. And you just layer. It takes, you got to do it lightly because otherwise you're going to lose one color or the other. It's more practice than anything. See? Thanks, and you're welcome, Jan, and thank you so much for the letter. And I didn't get your permission to read the second letter. Your from Quail Hill. I didn't read that one. I just read the one you wrote to me. So I didn't know if you wanted that read or not. So I didn't read that one. Heading our way. Have a good one, Jan. 3 to 5 colors, yeah. Well, you just do the same. You just gotta just lightly, lightly do them. Okay, let me go back to my yellow here on my lion. I'm just going to kind of use the yellow to blend everything together. Now, I'm not bearing down. I'm doing this lightly because I want to add more. And you can just kind of follow along, the hairline. And sometimes it matters if you do because you can see the pencil lines. So, and I'm also, that's why I also said, don't do those bubbles until you're done, because now I have to color around the bubbles. Whereas if I just colored over, didn't worry about the bubbles the first go round, then I could just go back with the Posca. I guess I could just go right over them now, but then I have to go back over them with the Posca. All the little bubbles. All right, let me sharpen. And I'll get another question out here in a minute. I really wanted to get enough done so you could see me do the little foamy bits. We'll see. And if I do go over any of the bubbles, then I'll just go back with the Posca. So this will just get it all nice and blended, but it really needs darker because it's the contrast that makes your color book pages pop. the high contrast, real light lights and real dark darks, and the darks to me are not dark enough. Of course, I've gone over them with a couple of couple layers of other colors, so that's kind of lightened them up. So I'm going to go back again with the darkest or a darker brown and darken up the shadows. The Fox, thanks. Oh, thanks for the demo. Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, you do have to do light layers when you're blending. Like here we're only doing 3, maybe 4 colors. But when you're doing, it's like skin tones, for instance. There's a lot of layers. And you have to have a light touch. But you want to get to the point where there's a high contrast. That's just me. I like the high contrast. It makes your color book pages stand out. If you get them, if you're too timid, or, and I don't want to make that sound like a bad thing. If you don't have enough light and dark, it all looks kind of faded. It all looks kind of washed out. It all looks the same. And usually the girls that I see saying they don't like their color book pages, and I go look at their color book pages to see why they don't like them, they're almost always too light. Too same. Do you know what I'm talking about? Know what I mean, Vern? I didn't get any orange down here. I missed a fin. But that's what I've seen. Almost everyone that said they don't like the way they color, they don't like the way their color pages turn out. I mean, almost 100% of the time, their pages are too faint. Yes, I did. I'll tell you the colors again. And they're all Prismacolor. Sienna, Spanish orange, pale vermilion, and I think this is lemon, canary yellow. But I'm also going to go back, after I get done with the canary yellow, I'm going to go back in there with sepia or a dark brown to shadow it up even more. And that'll probably, I mean, I could go in there with a little bit of white Posca for a few highlights if I need to, but I think the yellow is going to be pretty good. But anyway, so yeah, if you're afraid to do that in a book, and and I do get a lot of people saying, well, I'm afraid I'm going to mess up the book. Well, make a copy. Make a copy of the page you really love and you really want to color, and practice on a copy. Just to, get your colors started or see what colors you're going to like. I think I will do a little bit of on the fins. I think I did that over here too. A little bit of highlight on some of the fins with white. And then I went back over it with lime green. Give it a little glow at the tips. And then practice that. Do your page so that you have, even try to get some place from black to white. Or dark brown or dark blue to white, and everything in between, so that you can practice getting that very high contrast. Because it'll make a difference. I'm telling you, you'll be happy. You will be happy with your color book page if you have lots of contrast. Okay, we're making our way down the line here. Can you see the difference with the yellow and no yellow? And we just started with a wash of acrylic paint. It gives it tooth, and it makes a base coat so that you don't have to get a base coat with pencil. You'll have a base coat of color with a wash of acrylic paint. So both of these started that way. This one started out with, I think it was this color watered down. It was like saffron yellow, or maybe it was, or maybe it was this one. Orange twist. I think it was orange twist. It was one of these light oranges. Just watered down and washed over the whole lion, the whole thing. Same thing for the Seahorse. Started out with a wash of citron green or a lime green. And that's the base started out. Okay, let me get this yellow on here, and then we'll ask another question, and then I'll get in there with a little bit of more dark. And then don't see what time is it. Okay, we've been streaming for a little over an hour. So we'll work for 30, 45 more minutes. And however much we get done, that'll be this page. Because I think everybody can figure out how to do some coral down here. Maybe I'll do a couple things. There's all kinds of coral. Just if you don't know what color coral, if you don't want to do a imaginary color coral, like orange or lime or whatever, if you want to do it peach or salmon colors, or just look Google images and find gotta sharpen again. Find samples. I mean, that's what I just did with the lionfish. Just look them up if you want it to be color correct. Even if you don't make it that realistic, if you just want the right colors, just, Google is your friend. Well, at least Google Images. So I'm just putting a nice yellow coat over the whole thing. But you can see in an hour we got, other than the wash that was already done, we got 3 layers on there of color. All right, so now I'm going to take the dark brown, see if it's sharp enough here. And now I'm going to go in here, and I'll start right around his head so you can really see it well. You're welcome. All right, let's get another question here. Let me get a couple more questions here. Well, it says, what's your dream job? I think we've kind of asked that before. We all want something in the art world, art or reading world. And we've asked that one. Maybe I've been putting them back in the middle. Who taught you how to ride a bike? I think I taught myself, but I don't remember anybody teaching me. I mean, of course, my parents bought the bikes, I'm sure, but I'm not sure who taught me how to ride a bike. My dad taught me how to drive a stick when I was about 12. So he taught me how to drive, but I don't know. I don't remember if anybody taught me how to ride a bike. I just don't remember anybody behind me, steadying me until I just don't remember that. Your brother, Nina, taught you? I'm more apt to remember my grandma taught me how to read. To me, that was more important than a bike. Just me. When I was little, reading was more, I learned how to read very, very young from grandma. So that kind of takes precedent over who taught me how to ride a bike, because I don't really remember that. Do you like the way it's looking? Oh, thanks. Just going in there and getting extra dark. And this is where you want to take a little more time and keep your pencil sharp so you can get nice tiny areas. And don't carry it out too far. Just kind of concentrate on little areas so it doesn't overwhelm your, or get rid of any of your other color. You don't want to get rid of your orange and your sienna and your yellow. You just want to pick out a little bit more dark. Because I think by going over it with the orange, I kind of lost some of the very dark darks. See? Steffi says she learned on a friend's bike. Hubby did, as he taught me to drive. You were 25 when you learned how to drive and ride a bike, Card? Eileen said her dad. Limo said she taught herself as well. Dot said she taught herself by falling off a lot. I know, and we didn't have knee pads and helmets and none of that back then. I saw another picture on Facebook of car seats, the first car seats. They were just like a little high chair with just like one little plastic seat belt or something. Hubster and I, this was before, seatbelt laws. Hubster and I drove all the way to Alaska from San Antonio. We drove to Alaska. We took our time. Took us 2 weeks. No cell phones, no seatbelts. All the way to Alaska, 5,000 miles. We drove 5,000 miles without a cell phone or seatbelts. That was back in the 80s. Camped out, ate MREs, fought off the mosquitoes, slept in the woods. We had to have as many bottle caps as we could get in the spokes. We didn't do the bottle caps. We did cards with a clothespin, Eileen. A playing card with clothespin. Like that. You remember that sound. No, it was louder than that, I'll tell you. It was more, well, I can't do it, but yeah, it was loud. Oh, bottle caps? Yeah, see, we didn't do that. Do you remember caps, though? You remember the red strips with a little bit of powder in them? You smack them with a hammer? Eileen, I know, remembers that. CB, I'm sure, remembers that. I need to get out my Whammo toy book again. All the toys we grew up with. It's amazing we all made it out alive, isn't it? Nina said, I had the old-timey bike with the basket and horn. Aw, cute. I think we had some 3 speeds when we were, I don't know, 8. I think we got those for Christmas one year for my grandfather. But, we all had the banana seat Stingray bikes. And we'd go barefoot and we'd ride without our hands. Just balancing, riding down the street. Of course, I'm not going to recommend anybody not going without shoes, but we did. We grew up, we'd go barefoot all summer, and in Texas, practically all year round. And of course, you'd have to pull stickers out of your feet every day. Do you still have stickers down there, CB? The little round sticker burrs. I don't know what they're called. We call them stickers. I don't know what they are. They look like this. They're only about that big. They're only about that big. But they have all the, the stickers. They look like that. And you step on them, and you'd pull them out, and invariably one of those little stickers would stay in your foot, and you'd have to go home at night and get a needle and dig them out. You learn how to dig those things out of your feet. I don't know if CB... yeah, hammer. Yeah, the little caps. Yeah, they had cap guns too. We probably didn't have the guns. We just probably had just the hammers. But I think you could even get those in like gumball machines, the little caps, Sand spurs is what you call them, Terry? Yeah, yeah. Glass clackers. Yes, the glass clackers. Those things were brutal if you got hit with one of those. I never hit. I don't think I had a good enough aim to hit those things with rocks, Gene. Or you mean a big like a boulder? Bam, bam. Is that what you mean, Gene? You're not talking about like little snaps, right? Gene's out. Gene's out. Got some boulders. Knock those caps. uh, Yeah, gumball machines. They come in those little, those little plastic things with the caps. Take them off. There'd be some caps in there. I think that's where we'd find them. Or did you just buy them at the, stop and go or whatever? We had burrs up here. We had some burrs up here. And Mom used to swear every time she had to pull them out of our pants and Dad's socks. Yeah, we just called them stickers. But I think it's the same thing. Burrs. Yeah, sticker burrs. Ran barefooted as soon as the ground wasn't cold. Yeah. Me too. Always went barefoot. I mean, that's what summer is. Swimming and barefoot. The penny candy store. Yeah, we had Wins. 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 5 and dime. We had that. But it wasn't close. I mean, the closest thing we had that I can remember that we walked to was like a stop and go. We didn't have malls or none of that. We never went anywhere. We went out in the yard. We didn't go anywhere. We didn't go to shopping and stores, and we got a couple of new outfits when school started, and maybe another outfit at Christmas. Not one, nice dress, some shorts and t-shirts for summer, and that was it. We didn't. Yeah, that's the way it was for most kids. I think. At least that we didn't know any better. I mean, we knew a few people that we called rich, but not many. There was a few kids that had like nicer toys, or maybe they might have one fancier dress or something. But we all were like the same. We just all hung out, and we didn't think about that stuff. We didn't think about our clothes much. We just didn't think about it. We had more fun things to worry about, like throwing caps and running through the woods and building stuff in the woods, or swimming in the summer. Not huge, just heavy enough to make them go, okay, all right, not a boulder. Well, I was kind of exaggerating there, Jean. I really didn't think you had a literal boulder. So y'all can see I'm just going in here and finding places to just add a little bit darker, and it just takes a while to go through the whole lion again. with little white gloves. Yeah, that was only on Easter. Yeah, we get all dressed up. You know, you get dressed up at Easter. I have pictures of me and my sisters in our little white gloves, in our, Easter dress. And patent leather shoes. Yeah. Well, and you have the pictures. You always have the little Easter basket, too. Oh. Okay, let's get another question. Let's see. What do you wish you were better at saying no to? Over here sharpening again. I keep sharpening. One time I'll sharpen in the long, then I sharpen in the short. This poor pencil. Doesn't know what's going on. What do you wish you were better at saying no to? Yeah, I remember Saddle Oxfords, the black and white ones, Terry. Yeah. Deb said we had kids just in our neighborhood alone. Jan says she wishes better at saying no to buying art supplies. The penny loafers, yeah, they hurt my feet. There were two. I didn't. Penny loafers, yeah, they were too stiff. Back then, that leather that they made those penny loafers out of, that was stiff leather. Nina said she wished she was better at saying no to eating junk food. Steffi, chocolate. Deb Pewter said art supplies in the sense of keeping focus. You mean focusing on one thing or one medium at a time? Yeah, that's a tricky one right there. That is a tricky one. I think one of the keys to that is you have to admit to yourself what you don't really love doing. Like I told you, I didn't really love doing jewelry. I didn't like doing three-dimensional art. And I wanted to like it so much. I wanted to like doing three-dimensional boxes. I wanted to like jewelry making and clay, polymer clay things. I wanted to like it so much. But I finally had just to admit I just didn't enjoy the process. If I didn't enjoy the process. Eileen says she has trouble saying no to Janet. I think that might be reciprocal, Eileen. I don't think I've ever seen Janet say no to you. Just saying. I don't think. That was a little breakage there. I don't think I've ever seen Janet say no to you, Eileen. Ever. Card said doing something that I don't want to do. Well, I think we need to be a little more specifics. We need some specifics. Chatty said, oh, she's talking about shoes. Hers were midnight blue and white. Okay. You were one of the rich kids, Chatty Natty. You had the blue and white ones. I think only the rich kids had the blue and white saddle shoes. I'm teasing people. See, I'm just getting in there and getting a little bit more contrast. I hope it's showing up. I hope I'm not doing all this and you can't see a dang thing. Some of those little... because I want to show y'all some of the foamy stuff. That's really where I want to have time to do that. I probably won't have time to do this down here. But I think y'all, I don't think you need me to show you how to do this. You know, I did the fish. A little, it needs more on the lionfish here. You know, just look it up and do stripes. You know, do stripes like this. And make them, you know, striped. Add some orange in there. But I really want to do more of the, I want to do the foamy stuff here. You like that, Eileen? I love your talk about that the other day. I'm not sure what, talk about what, Deb? Because there's a lag, so by the time we change the subject, where, you know, I have to, I'm not sure where you are in the conversation, because there's a lag. That's one of the things that you got to get used to if you're a streamer. You're talking and everybody else is like at least a 30-second delay. So by the time I'm talking about something totally different, y'all are answering a question that I may have asked 30 seconds ago. So your daughter says you're a rebel with your blue and white. Oh no, that was Chatty Natty with the blue and white. Card chick, you're a rebel. Oh, okay. All right, Kat. I don't know. I didn't really know any cheerleaders back then. But, you know, Boo is a cheerleader. And she's the least snottiest person I've ever met. Well, maybe not in the whole world, but, you know. So, I don't know. I guess it just depends on the kid more than anything. The cheerleaders that Boo hung around with, they were close-knit, but there's a reason they're close-knit. It's not so much that they're snobby to other people. It's they're so close-knit because they spend hours and hours and hours practicing together. At least a competition cheer does. I don't know about all high school cheer. I mean, Boo's in that now, but they spend so many hours practicing together that they become close. And I think sometimes that's mistaken for snobbiness. But they're so close because they work together, probably just like a football team. You know, a football team, a basketball team, any sports that you have to practice hours and hours and hours, and you practically live together at a gym or a field or a, you know, you become, it's not that you're snobby, or it's just that those are your friends that you hang out with like 24/7, you know. Okay, so I got to do all these little scales here just a little bit more. Just go in here a little bit more with the scales. And again, as soon as I get done with this, I want to go on to the foamy bits. I'll back the camera up. But then, you know, maybe back then, who knows, I don't remember. I didn't hang out with the cheerleaders either. So, you don't want to know who I hung out with. But, yeah. I didn't hang out with cheerleaders, let's put it that way. But having Boo, my granddaughter, as a cheerleader, I know what it involves, especially competition cheer, traveling cheer. It's like a traveling gymnast, you know. They do. I know, right, Card? Okay, so let's see. Let's get down here. We're getting there, people. We're getting there. I hope that you are able to see enough of what I'm doing. And I gave you enough tips, like the tip about contrast. And so next time you color a page, and oh, Hubster's home. The next time you color a page and you don't like it, and you don't know why you don't like it, and sometimes it can be the color combination. You don't like the color combination you picked, or you just didn't know how to pick colors. And that's why I always recommend going to Design Seeds or any place that has, a combination. Like Design Seeds has, I think it's 5 or 6, I can't remember now, 5 or 6 color combinations that go together. Even, it doesn't matter, take anything, take a mermaid, and then maybe the colors are, pinks and purples in the Design Seeds. And take those 5 or 6 colors and use just those colors as, of course you could add black and white or, but use those as your main colors to color a page and see how much more you will like it. If you're one that can't figure out what colors to pick those 5 main colors, regardless, and it could be 6, I don't remember, Design Seeds if it has 5 or 6. But pick those 5 or 6 main colors, and that's regardless of if you do watercolor, color pencil, polys, Prismas, Neo colors, whatever medium you're using, Crayola crayons, markers, whatever it is you use, and stick with those basic 5 colors as the majority of your page, and you will like it. That and contrast. You get you 5 good colors as your base and have high contrast, and you will like your page. I'm telling you, people, you will. You will like your page. May not be perfect, and you'll see flaws like blending and stuff like that, but you will at least like your page. You may not love it, but we rarely love everything we do. Okay, so now let me go ahead and back out. That's pretty good there. Oh, maybe one more. There we go. Okay. So now you can see we got the bulk of it done. Can a person go back and color over again if the page is days? Okay, I'm not sure what you mean. Color over again if the page is days old? You mean if you don't finish one and go to another and not finish that? You mean like this? You mean like I'm not done with this, but I moved on to this? Or do you just mean, I'm not sure what you mean. Not sure what you mean, card. Sorry. While you're explaining it to me, I'm going to get my white Posca and fix some of the bubbles. And then after I do the bubbles, I'm going to go in and do some of the foamy bits. I am a 3-color user in black and white. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome, though, because, it's a way for you to not get overwhelmed, too. You can get overwhelmed when you got 20 colors, or you got your whole set of polys out there lined up in your box or your pencil case, and you don't know, where do I start? What color? Where do I begin? I think I picked up one that's almost here. Let me get the other one. There we go. It can be overwhelming with so many colors. I'm just going in here and picking out a few of the places that I kind of got too much orange on the bubbles. Just going to go through there and kind of pick some out. And of course, I can always go back to, after the foamy bits, but okay. The color the same page. I'm still not following you. Color the same page days later? I'm sorry, Card Chick. I might have missed part of the conversation. Okay, I think I will. Let's see here. Let's get this right here. All right, so what I'm going to do, this will be the last thing I do. And then, again, I'm not going to do this down here. I'm going to leave that to you. Oh, one other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the blue, that's kind of this color, and I'm going to go in under each angelfish and just put a little bit of shadow under each one. Okay, let me just I'm just going to kind of shadow under each angel. They're already white with black stripe. And there's a little bit of orange on some of them. From the wash and from some of the orange pencil. But I'm just going to kind of go right over them. And I'm just kind of, maybe a third of their body. I'm just going to add a little bit of blue. And you can take more time. I want to get as much done as I can. And I also need to put a little highlight in his eye and a little bit of a pupil too with them. And I usually do pupils with a black Sharpie pen. Is this one not working? And I want that one. Okay. All right, let's go back to a little bit of blue on each one. I'll hold it up here a second. It's just like half their body's shadowed with the blue, same blue color of the water. So I hope everybody that likes me to do the color book pages, and I do want to get back to Serene. Maybe I'll take a few minutes to talk about some of the books I want to get back to. Maybe we can do that for a couple minutes. I'm still waiting for Card Chick. I'm not sure what her question was again. Okay. Did I get them all? Probably missed one or two. It's easy to do when there's so many. Yep, here's one. I'll pull out a few color books that I want to get back to. For those of y'all saying, what are you going to color next? We'll talk about that for 5 minutes. Okay, so see the blue under the fish? See how it just gives them a little bit more depth by putting a little bit of blue on the bottom half of their white bodies? Because there's no color to them. I'm making them black and white angelfish. So just shading them. There you go. You can see them right there. Shading them with a little bit of blue. All right. So now, here comes the part you got to be brave. Let me get a palette here. It's dry. It's not clean, but it's dry. All right. Let me put these cards away here. Let me put them in the back. I always enjoy doing the chat packs. Get to know people a little better. A person already completely colored the page. Can you fix it? So yeah, it's your page. You can do whatever you want. You can go back and fix your page up. Go ahead. Like when we were talking about not having enough contrast, and now you're thinking, that page I did last month or whatever, it was not dark enough. Well, go back and darken it. Yeah, you're the boss of your color book. That's my rule. You're the boss of your color book. All right, now let me get a baby wipe here. And I'm not adding any water to this. I'm just going to use a damp baby wipe. And I do this. I mash it into the baby wipe. That's why I do this on my hand. It's not like just to get paint on my hand. It's to mash the paint into the baby wipe. And you might have to do it a couple times. Get the paint mashed into the baby wipe. And then you're just going to go on here. And I'm just going to I need to leave in a little bit more. I'm going to kind of just go right over the tops of where they gave you some lines. But I'm also adding my own. Just go in there and add wherever you want white foamy stuff. You can have it go right over the fish. Have it, that's why you have to finish the fish and everything first. Because you don't want to, you want this all colored before you do this. You want your page, everything that's behind it finished. So then just go right over it like that. Okay, now let's go over here on the lion. Okay, now there's some places that they already have it, like right here. But I'm going to go right over the top of that. And you can get it a little darker in some places. And maybe I want some more up here. There's none there, but I'm going to add it. Okay, there's a little bit over here. I might just add a little bit more. Now, I wouldn't recommend going over their faces and stuff. You want to keep the character of your creatures and not lose the character. But you can go right over their tail, something like that. And you might put a couple coats if it's not quite dark enough. So you just kind of just be brave. And if you're afraid to do it on your book, then do a practice page, or just do some of the page. Like maybe do a part of the lion, do the lion's tail or something on a piece of copied and then colored, and then have a page like that, or color a page, one of the pages that you really love but you're afraid to mess up. Print it out, color it, and then keep that page for stuff like this to practice doing stuff like this on it that you would be afraid to do. Then you have something to work on top of. So yeah. And you could do more splatters. Now let me go ahead and maybe do that, because I'll have to water this down for splatter. And that's when you take a soft, kind of a fluffy brush. We used it earlier in the abandoned places. Okay, I'm going to hold this up so you can see it on the lion, because it'll show up the most on the lion, maybe, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to splatter on the lion some more foamy bits. Let me get a little more. Can you see that? I don't know. It's very subtle. Might even use a little more water. There you go. And you can go over here on the water. So you're not just relying on the bubbles that Kerby drew. You can add all the bubbles you want. All the foamy bit. But again, don't do this until you're completely done with the animals, because you don't want to have to paint. See, I got some on his face. I'm going to get that off his eyeball. You don't want to. You don't have to try to paint a color around this. You want to have all your coloring done, even though I'm not done with this yet. I want to show y'all, this stuff. Uh-oh, spilled a little bit. Water. Get that off there. Okay. So, yeah, there we go. Let me clean this up. Wipe off my hand. Let me hit this with the heat gun. Thanks, guys. Oops, there's a card there, forgotten. So even if I don't completely finish every little detail on a page, I want to do enough that you all know all the techniques I could possibly show you. How do you know when? Yeah, so yeah, practice so if you have a page to practice on. Print one out to practice on. Thanks, Card Chick. So I still have to do the little Buddha right there, and I have to add some orange to my lionfish, and do the coral along the bottom. But that's not anything that you couldn't figure out yourself. Okay, so it's going to take a couple more minutes to dry, because when you splatter like that, those dots take longer than you think. But other than the lionfish, the little tiny lionfish, see? There you go. Thanks. So I'll take a picture of it. I won't post an official squares of it on Instagram until I finish this, but I'll post the general 2-page spread with some couple pencils laying on it. That to me is anybody that wants to steal your work, they can find ways to do it. But to me, the easiest way to protect your work is to do this. That right there. Take a picture like that, or even just like that. A couple pencils, a supply on it, and to me that's as good as what do you call it? Your ghost, your watermark. This is better than a watermark. Okay, so that's what I do. But anyway, so let me show you a couple other pages a couple other books I want to get back to. A couple of cards got put in there. And, yeah. So, I want to work more in Hidden Paradise. Do I need to back up more? Are we good, I think? Maybe I need to back up one here. I want to work more in Hidden Paradise, which I got this from Amazon last weekend. This is the only one I've done out of it. I am tearing the pages out. It is perforated. And I do want to do more in this one. And y'all know I take the pages out, and I do need to write on the back of this so I know what who the artist is and everything. I did marker, as you can see it went through. So I don't know if a pen that could go through. So this is Hidden Paradise. And it is Chris Lopez. And then that way I can, if I, take this out of the book and away from the book, so I put them in my larger pages. I put in my Seven Gypsies faux ledger thing. Well, it's a real ledger, but it's, faux leather and whatnot. So I put my oversized pages that are bigger than 8.5 by 11. I put them in here. The 8.5 by 11 ones go in a binder, and I'm not going to pull that out right now. But here's some of, these are some of the pages. This is from Serene, and then this is from Anastasia's Mermaid. This one's from Anastasia's Dragon Tales. This is from her Dragon Tales. And again, this one's got stickles. And see the gold? Somebody was asking about gold. That's stickles right there. So you can get nice stickle gold. So, then this is from her mermaid book again. This is full of stickles, all glittered up. All glittered up. Beastly lionfish. Thanks, guys. And so this is what the ledger paper looks like. Now, here's one in Serene I need to finish. This one is, I think this is the only one I'm not finished with that I've started. I could be wrong, but I need to finish this one. And I just put them in between pages here. This one's done. So I want to get back to Serene. And also Erie, oh, I forget the name of the other one. This is one of my favorite ones. I did this one with marker. See, that's marker. Marker and pencil. And there's pictures of these. I've got them on my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. They're everywhere. That's the one I drew for you guys. Then I got a couple of the fairies from Linda Ravenscroft. This is Ivy. That's her name, is Ivy. Then I have another one here, Linda Ravenscroft. This one is December Glow. So the larger pieces I put in this ledger to keep them protected, because I take them out of the books, because I just do, they're big. And then I want to put this back in here. Okay, so I want to get back to Serene. And there's nothing in here that's half done. Everything's, except that one page, it's in this ledger. I want to finish up the poster from the Alice in Wonderland. And again, I don't know what I was thinking. These are just some back to color behind. I don't know what I was thinking when I wanted to copy this. I never do that. I never copy an art, if there's a sample page in a book. But I thought, let's go ahead and copy. Let's copy this. Well, it's taken me forever to copy this. I mean, it's coming along, but it's going to take a long time for me to finish this little poster. See how big it is right there? It's a poster size. And so I'm trying to copy it. There's the rabbits right there. The rabbit. So I don't know what I was thinking by wanting to do that, but that's going to take a while. But I'll eventually get it. But anyway, what did Julie say? I missed something there. Okay, so these are two books that I want to get back into. Back into the Anastasia, the Mermaid, and the Dragon. Both are hers, and these things are huge. They're like 14 by 14. They are huge. So that's why I tear these out and I put them in my ledger. Here's the, let's go to the front here. The front, the cover was the one with the book that was in my ledger, the dragon that was sitting on a book. That was the cover to this. So I want to get into some more of the dragons. I love these books. I love all my books. I'd love to pet them and it's just that there's so many, that I can't hardly get time to get to. Okay, here's some scratch paper under there. Okay, so there's those that I want to get back to. Some of the other ones are, hang on. I'm still working on my commission for my portrait for this puppy. Of course, all my Bennett Kleins. Love my Bennett Kleins. All my Bennett Kleins. Any and all of these I want to get back to. I am working on Treat 'em. This is one that I started on Treat 'em. It's not very far along. But, and I take, again, these I do take out and I put these in my 3-ring binder. So here's what I'm working on, Treat 'em. That's the newest one that I have. So all my Bennett Klein. How have you done much in Nick Filbert's other books? Yes, I have. Not a whole lot. I mean, I haven't finished them. But I have. Let me see if I can get right to them. Where are they? Hang on, I've got to kind of go through here. Hang on. Where's Erie? Here it is. Okay, so Irene, that's what it is. I keep saying Erie. This one, I haven't torn it out yet. But it will go in. It needs to go in the what you call it, the ledger, and it's on marker. Make sure you put something behind it so it doesn't. So I got that one done, and you can see it's got lots of stickles in there. So I do want to work more in this. Fantasia. I might have. Okay, I do have a couple in here still. I haven't tore this. I thought I'd taken them all out, but I guess I haven't. So there's this one, and she's all stickled up. So there's that mermaid. And I gave her a little jewel glow in her hand there, and her tail. Do I have anything else done in this one? I think I'm working on one here. I see a pink thing up here. I'm working on this girl, the magic carpet. She's not very far along, but so those two, working it. I want to work more on those. Yeah, I know, Kimmy. There's just so many, right? I mean, there's just so many books I want to work in. Of course, Tenderful Enchantments. All the Hannah Carls on, and what's the other girl? Hannah and Clara Markova books. I want to do more in Zimya Snova. Hang on, let me pull this. I want to do more in Zimya Snova. The Tomislav Tomic book. I want to do more in this one. I've got, well, I just started not recently, but I mean, I'm working on the cover there, the inside cover. But I've got these going on. This one's finished. This took forever. This one and my werewolf in Mythomorphia took the 2 longest pages I think I've ever spent on any hours. This took forever. And I think I started another one in here somewhere. Maybe not. So I want to get back to that. Here's one that I haven't even started on. I bought this for myself for my birthday. The Search for the Light Bulb Burglar. And there's no words in it. You make your own, kind of make your own story. I do color a bit, but would really rather do things from scratch. Yeah, I love doing things from scratch too, Dot. I love drawing my animals, my animal posters. I love, you know, I love any kind of art, drawing and coloring and painting. And so anyway, I've not done not the first lick in this one yet. And it's a whole story book. You know, so there won't be any tearing these pages out because they're a story, right? And I just love the idea of the steampunkness of it. But I haven't done anything in that one. What else? I mean, there's tons. You know, I've got 5 of the Hannah Carls on to do. I love me some Jasmine Beckett Griffith. And of course the Korean and Japanese books that Melody gave me. I love those. I'm still working in those. Flipping here. What else? Yeah, I love the Korean books. I'm flipping here. The pop manga. I haven't worked in this in a long time. I love this Camilla D'Areco pop manga coloring book. This one. I've done quite a few pages in this one. I love her, the narwhal, the mermaid and the narwhal, and I have the post-its in the finished pages, so. But I love her. Her, again, it's got the post-its on the pages. The tree girl. This one's not done. We just did something. We're doing a test or something. I don't even remember what. Oh, we did his eyes. I think they didn't have any eyeballs, so we put eyes on them. This one I did in Inktense to test out what, making a blend with Inktense. I don't like doing that with Inktense. It's tough. It's tough to do a blend out, a wash out, a smooth blend with Inktense. So I like Inktense for other things, but not for that. It's so much work. You might as well just use watercolor or neocolors to do that watercolory look instead of instead of Inktense. That was time consuming. I didn't enjoy it. And then this tree girl here. This one, it's the pop manga, Camilla D'Areco. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. So I love this one. I'd love to get back to that. I got a couple of dragon books. I got the Mysterious Library I want to get back to, and the Coloring the Enchanted Forest. Intricate ink. Here's another one. These are pretty easy to do with watercolor. They're grayscale. They're not hard at all. I mean, I think I sat here and did 5 or 6 of them in one sitting. Let's see here. Color's a little off, but I still wanted to zoom in a little. These were quick. I'm just going to flip to the ones that I have done. Because they're grayscale. Seahorse. Turtle. Pink zebra. Jean named it a unibrow. Unicorn. A zebra. A unibrow. That's Jean right there. So anyway. So those are just some of the ones I want to get back to. You know, there's more. There's tons more. Tons more. But those are some of the main ones. And then plus my Anamorphia, Imagimorphia, and of course Mythomorphia. So yeah. So anyway, guys, I'm going to head out. I hope y'all enjoyed a kind of a full day of streaming. So we colored and we worked in earlier, if you missed it. We did, move some of this out of the way. We worked in abandoned, deserted theme parks on part 1, and we did this page. And flipped through and did some other things too. But anyway, it's got a big feather right there. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed today. And it's been hump day. Where's Phil? So yeah, so it's always fun hanging out with you guys. And if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching over there. If you have any suggestions over there, what you'd like to see colored or done or abandoned place, you know, what's your favorite things to see done? You're welcome, Zeely. Thanks, Third Terry. Thanks, Dot, Orla, Eileen. Yeah, Xandra streams tonight at 7:30. Scraps to Beauty is her stream name, and Xandra, she has a name after her. I'm not sure, Xandra something on YouTube. I will be watching Survivor. I'll be watching the new Survivor starts tonight, so I'll watch Xandra's recording. So, you're welcome, guys. It's always good to hang out with you. All right, guys. Bye-bye.